Welcome to Lexic. In this video, we're just going to go over how to use Lexic. There's not really any linking differences from a standard C library, but there are some logic requirements that any standard tokenizer might have. So we'll just go over that. In the background, we'll have the time lapse of me making the CLI, and then we'll move on from there. So Lexic itself is the first tool in a series of language tools that I'm planning on, the fastest language tools, of course. And the idea with them is that they're simple interfaces that should be pretty standard for working with languages, and also easy to learn language concepts with, because fuck my college class, they did not have good tooling. Anyways, then this is pretty standard makefile stuff. The only thing that I'm missing is the -l lexic because, well, I just kind of slipped my mind. But well, I face the issue later on and I fix it. So pretty standard -i -l -l lexic, and then once you make it with your main file, it's basically linked. That's about it. Lexic is just like any other tokenizer. That means it needs a vocab, otherwise it doesn't know what it's doing. So here, same thing. There's one part where it asks for the file name, which you can give it, or you can provide it to it when you actually call the CLI, or you can do it manually, and actually a lot of the programming for the CLI did go into the manual making of the vocabulary. Or maybe rather, I should say, a lot of the programming went into the error checking that surrounds C strings, because, of course, C strings are not known for being very secure, so I have to make a check that there's the proper null terminating character and that we don't go too far, so that we don't buffer overflow. A lot of, well, pretty standard stuff that I wouldn't have to deal with if I was working in C++, but that's also kind of part of the charm of working in C. So Eh, whatever. Yeah, just took an hour and a half because of C strings. What can you do? Here, there are actually two errors that I'm facing. The first one is obviously the linking issue. I didn't include -l lexic. We talked about it earlier. My bad. But the other one is actually, for some reason, despite getting most of the input from the standard in, there's still some extra lines or characters or whatever in there. I don't know, so I had to look up on Stack Overflow, not my brightest moment, for how to flush it, and it's kind of just another rip from Stack Overflow. But otherwise, I just fix those two and move on from there. Lexic is expecting a token definition per line in a file or in a string, no matter what. Lexic just takes a file and puts it into a string before throwing it to the lexic vocabulary from string function. And so basically one token definition per line, which is then the first half is the name, colon, then there is the regex. Here you can see me including private lexic internal.h. It's not really important for compiler developers. It's just here for me to check that my manual formatting is actually reporting the proper amount of definitions when I'm manually creating stuff. But otherwise, you don't need it. So that's about it. I appreciate you coming down and watching this video, and I hope you stay around, maybe subscribe for the later on videos where I make the rest of the fastest language tools. Or I just die to this motivation. Anyways, see ya.